Today on the Arkham Chronicle we're going to be discussing these things, the humble pocket page. The pocket page is a method of storing and displaying your cards, and they will take both cards in sleeves and cards out of sleeves as well. They will usually be large enough to fit multiple copies of cards, particularly if they're not in sleeves. This is called a 9 pocket page because it has 9 pockets, 9 areas for you to store cards. These ones access from the top, and they're only open on one side, so you can't insert cards from the other side. There's quite a lot of friction, and as you can see, even with a single unsleeved card in a pocket, it doesn't want to come out. Let's see how many cards we can fit into one pocket. Most pockets will easily fit 4 unsleeved cards, because popular games like Magic the Gathering have a deck limit of 4 copies of each card. There's now 8 unsleeved cards that are sliding in and out without any kind of problem. And if we take out the 4 copies of Bulletproof Vest at the back, flip them over, then obviously when you turn the page over, you'll be able to see. So you can fit 2 types of cards conveniently in a single 9 pocket page. You're going to want to have somewhere to store these cards, and at the edge of every pocket page you're going to have a series of holes, which allows you to put them into a binder. We recommend purchasing pages which have at least 11 holes. That means you can fit in a 2, a 3, a 4, or even a more ring binder. You can buy suitable binders from stationery shops, or you can buy ones specifically made to hold customizable card games. You're going to want to get ones which have at least 3 rings, preferably 4 or more, and you're going to want to make sure that they have D rings, rings in the shape of the letter D. And a good quality binder will also have tabs at the end which you push down to open the rings without you actually touching the rings. If you manually open the rings, you're applying unequal pressure, and that can damage the rings, meaning they don't close properly, meaning the pages won't flip properly. All you do is simply feed the pegs through the holes like so, and voila! And the beauty of this system is you can keep adding pages as your collection grows. When carrying your binder, always beware of where the opening is. So when you're carry it like this, carry it like this, but don't tempt fate by carrying it upside down and shaking it, because your cards may fall out. The largest, earliest and most well-known manufacturer of pocket pages is Ultra Pro. But many modern manufacturers such as BCW and Ultimate Guard also make pages. And the cheapest way to buy them is in a box of 100. And if you think this is too much, you can easily split it with your gaming buddies, or purchase them in smaller quantities. Your local game store may sell them individually. These are Ultra Pro Silver pages, and these are Ultra Pro Platinum pages. On the left we have the silver page, and on the right we have the platinum page. Let's swap them over just to make sure. It looks like they're both as shiny and reflective as each other. Are you able to tell the difference? No, we can't either, which is why we emailed Ultra Pro. But of course they didn't bother to respond. And if you look at the patent numbers on both products, they are identical. But one of them definitely costs more than the other. The most common type of page available is the clear one. They also come in different colours, many of which will match up with the 5 classes. And like everything stylish, of course they come in black. As well as the 9 pocket page, which loads on one side and is visible from the other side. You can also get the 18 pocket page, which loads on one side, and it also loads on the other side as well. And there's a dividing layer, usually coloured, in between them. The majority of pockets will load from the top, like so. However, particularly with the 18 pocket pages, they will load from the side, like so. And annoyingly, it isn't always the same side. Why do they do it this way? Surely everything should be loading from this side, so it is furthest away from the edge of the binder. On your first row, in order to load this way, you'd have to remove it from the binder itself. When closed, this is the row that has the most pressure on it, meaning these cards are less likely to move about. So it makes sense to have them loading from this side here. On the outer column, obviously you're going to want it facing inwards towards the binder, and you'd think that would be the same for the second column as well, but it isn't. Some people have bigger, chunkier fingers, and they might not be able to work around the pegs here. And if you're dealing with foil cards, they need to be kept flat, so you need to slide them gently like so. And if this card does drift in transit, it will usually drift under the flap of the next one, not out of your binder. If you are paranoid about your cards falling out of the pages, then Ultra Pro has a solution for you. These are top-loading 9-pocket pages which have a white tape running along the top. What you do is you pull up the tape like that. It isn't adhesive or anything like that. Just slide your card in like so, in or out of a sleeve, and voila! It is virtually impossible for the card to drift up and out. These are 9 pocket pages, so they are only accessible from one side, and the tape is writable. So if you are storing multiple different cards in a single pocket, you can easily write the contents on there. Or if you're taking the card out, you can write which deck that you've put it into, or which person that you've lent it to. As well as the 9 pocket page for your standard cards, there is also the 16 pocket page for your investigator mini cards. And just like regular pages, they will hold them sleeved or unsleeved, and you can fit multiple sleeved or unsleeved cards in the same pocket. Look at that, it's huge! And just a single page will hold all of the core box investigators, all the Dunwich Legacy investigators, and all the Path to Carcosa investigators. But sadly, there's no room for Marie. She'll have to stick her round the back of one of the other investigators. Like so. Just a little something to mention, with some brands of sleeve, you may actually have to punch out the holes yourself. This is a 20 pocket sleeve from BCW. What could you possibly put in one of these? What indeed? It's a great way of storing those chaos tokens which you have to add later on in the game, or the ones which you never use because you insist on playing on hard. And while it will technically hold chaos tokens in coin capsules, they do put quite a strain on the pages themselves, so we wouldn't recommend it. But pages are a great modular system that you can keep adding to and building as your collection grows. Just be sure that you know what it is that you're purchasing, because pages are used by more than just card players. This here is a 15 pocket page, and it won't really fit anything that Arkham Chronicle has to offer. They're designed to hold cigarette cards, which are long and thin, and predate collectible card games by about 100 years. At this point we know what you're thinking. Is there a page which combines both card sizes into one? Well, actually there is, but unfortunately it's the wrong way round. You want something which has more standard size cards than mini size cards, because that's the ratio that Arkham Horror uses. Unfortunately, these are primarily designed for X-Wing, where the smaller cards are given priority. And of course you can get the single pocket page for putting your rulebooks and your campaign guides in. And if you think that a full-size 9 pocket binder is too large for you, then you can get a cut-down smaller version, designed to display 4 cards per page, and this is the only time that we would advocate using a binder with only 2 rings. You can get 4 and 8 pocket pages, and these can either be top or side loading. You can get pages for the mini cards, but we haven't seen any token size ones. And you can get the split size, although the ratio is even worse. I'm Spartacus. No, I'm Spartacus. No, I'm Spartacus.